You men out there, you finding yourself a little bit on the heavier side? Would you like to drop a few? Would you like that six-pack to become visible, right? But you have less time and more obligation. Maybe you have a kid, maybe you have a house, maybe you have a busy job. Hell, you might be staying at your parents' basement for all I know, and you might have all kinds of time. Anyway, ship hasn't sailed. Losing weight in your 30s, still a doable job. And in this video, I'm going to explain and show how you can be successful at losing weight in your 30s. I'm Martin for One Camera Life, and let's get ready. Before we continue, if you appreciate this video and you want more, subscribe to the YouTube channel and click that little bell button so you will get notified when I publish new videos. If you like this video, there's a like button down there that you can push. That'll give me an indication what content you like. That'll be very helpful. So in this video, I'm going to go through three things predominantly. That is calorie deficit, sustainable diet, sustainable weight loss. Now let's dig into it. So calorie deficit, what the heck is that, right? Calorie deficit is what you need to be in if you want to lose weight. So essentially it means you need to absorb or eat less calories than you expend so that you will start to grind on that fat storage that you have built up. All right, so where do we go from here? An idea now could be to, estimate our daily caloric need. That sounds complicated, right? And it is, because it's like an equation that factors in a bunch of stuff. There's a ton of ways to do it. I'll link to a couple of very basic ways to do it down below. Also, my blog post on this same topic, I'll link to below. That goes through essentially everything I'm going to say in this video and then some. So anyways, estimating your caloric need or your daily caloric need. I like to do this or think of this as, an estimate. So I used this example guy. He was a male, 31 years old, 6 feet and 260 pounds, and has a moderate activity level. That's just the input for the equation. And we estimated him at about 3,000 calories per day. And then if you want sustainable weight loss, some sources suggest maybe a 500 calorie deficit a day. That equals to about 3,500 calories a week, which is the equivalent of a pound of fat. So we're aiming for about a pound of weight loss a week. So we have our calorie estimate now of 3,000 calories a day for this guy. And then we subtract 500 calories, and then we're left with about 2,500 calories a day. So that's our estimate for our example guy in order for him to lose about a pound of fat a week. What I mean by estimate, there's variability between people, and we might be burning less calories by nature. We might be more or less active. The equation might be a little bit off. So it's an estimate. It's a ballpark estimate. So if we're doing this and we're not seeing any effect, then we might need to adjust our estimate a little bit, right? All right. So we know that we need to be in a caloric deficit in order to lose weight, and we have estimated our caloric need. So what now? The diet. So what diet do you need to follow? My best guess is the diet that you can follow is the best diet that you should follow. Why do I say that? In my blog post that I'll link to below, I'll go through some research that suggests that diet adherence might have a better impact or is a better predictor of weight loss over time than what diet you're on. So whether you're on a high carb, low carb, keto, Atkins, carnivore, whatever, vegan, it's the adherence that might be the most important factor, which is logical. Because think about this, if you're on this very restrictive diet that you don't really want to be on, but you're pushing yourself because you want to lose weight. So you're on this diet for a couple weeks, and then you just kind of just fall back into old patterns, or you start overeating, or just fall off the wagon. So we don't want that. So in order for things to change, can't fall back on your same old diet, right? That got you to the point where you want to change. So we need to adopt a diet that we actually can follow going forward. So to cite some interesting research here. So the National Weight Control Registry, which is a group that is studying long-term effects of successful weight maintenance, or they study like 10,000 people that had successful weight loss. So what this group has found is that 98% of the participants report that they have modified their dietary intake in some way. I interpret as caloric deficit. So 94% of the participants increased their physical activity, with the most popular activity being walking. 75% weigh themselves at least once a week. Most of the participants report that continuing to maintain a low calorie, low fat, and high levels of activity is how they keep their weight off. 90% exercise on average, about 1 hour a day. So the common denominator here seems to be that they eat less and exercise, and they have a diet and lifestyle that they can follow. And there's plenty of more statistics. If you go to their website, I'll post a link down below too to that one. All right, so exercise. I don't think I'm going out on a limb if I say that exercise is an integral part of a healthy lifestyle. But what exercise should you do to lose weight? What I think is that something you can do is probably the best option. It could be tennis, martial arts, walking, running, lifting. Think about this. If you have to force yourself to do an exercise that you don't want to do, what are the chances that you're going to stick with that, right? Of course, you can sit there and argue until cows come home what exercise, like what's the best type of exercise for weight loss, and what's the best strength exercise for weight loss and muscle building. Here again, adherence and consistency is what I think is going to have the most impact, because you can do anything for a little while, but if you quit and stop doing it, needless to say, you will not have the continued effects or the prolonged effects. That being said, strength training could be beneficial. You know, maintaining some muscle mass could help you increase your metabolism. I want to add a little extra segment, and that is relapse or setbacks. So what to do if you experience setbacks or relapse. Let's say you go on a vacation and then you kind of fall off the wagon, right? And when you come back home, you're kind of like back to your old eating pattern and you stopped exercising, you know. Firstly, don't get discouraged by that. You had so much progress leading up to your setback. So be proud of all the progress that you had, and then focus on getting back in the saddle and continue forward. And don't see it as failure. Secondly, you can try to plan for high risk situations like a vacation or a big change. Say you're going to move, we're going to have a new job, we're going to have a kid, we're going to go on vacation. Or say you're moving, that's a real busy time, right? You don't have time for shit. You work and you have to move at the same time. What if you could schedule in a short workout or a small workout, maybe with somebody else, so you kind of like have to attend it, right? You can't just talk your way out of it. Maybe just a shorter one. Instead of like an hour, maybe just a half hour. Whatever you can get in to keep that habit rolling. All right, so to sum up, or to lose weight, we need to be in a caloric deficit. So we can estimate our caloric intake, and then we can plan our diet. So what diet should we follow? Pretty much whatever we can follow. And then exercise. What exercise should we do? Pretty much whatever exercise we're gonna stick to and that we like and that we enjoy. What if you experience relapses? Don't get discouraged. We made a lot of progress up until that point. So we get back in the saddle and focus on progress. Also important to keep in mind, think about what works for you and not what worked for somebody else. So think about what type of exercise, what type of diet, what type of lifestyle, what works for you, like not what worked for somebody else online or your friend or your family member, whatever. Before I end this, I just want to touch upon this subject with regards to calorie counting. That might sound hysterical, but it's not. It's just a way of like estimating how much you eat. You don't have to be totally like obsessed with it and count every bit, like tiny little thing, right? You can count a little bit, or count as much as you are capable of doing, and then that will give you an estimate of how much calories every meal is, or almost all your meals are. And if you're not seeing any difference in your weight or in your body composition, then consider scaling down a little bit. Cut some calories then. And that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know below. Comment if you have any comment, and like the video if you like it. That'll give me an indication that you like this video, and I will make similar videos in the future. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click that little bell button so you get notified whenever there's a new video. Have a good one.